If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Outside of Gange in West Orange, I did have a text conversation with Police Commissioner Jessica Titch. You know, Jessica came out like everybody else and condemned. That's fine. But we had a great conversation. We're still very close. And John Shell, too. So some of the folks that came out pretty strong yesterday, don't kid yourself, okay? They're still very, 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 very good friends of mine. Love you back and forth, all that stuff. So it's all good. But when Michael Rapaport, the brilliant comedic actor Michael Rapaport, reaches out to me and says to me, I'm coming on, then you know he's got something to say. So after two great guests already this morning, Gordon Chang and Abraham Hamra, here he is, my talented friend, Michael Rapaport. Michael, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, Sid, how you feeling?
I felt pretty good, you know. It was a long day yesterday, but you know, Michael, you're an actor, you're a comedian, you're in the news quite a bit yourself. It's all part of the deal, right? This is what we signed up for, so I feel good. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, I'm glad you're feeling good. You know, I think let's go over this. Let's do a play-by-play analysis. Can we do that?
Sure.
So what is the word? What is the thing that some people, quoting Ilhan Omar, what is the word that some people were offended by? What is the specific thing that some people were offended by? Cockroach?
It was Mamdani. It was Mamdani, not Omar, but I guess it was that word. Which again,
no. But I was quoting Ilhan Omar because you know whenever that one time when she was talking about the Jews, she said some people.
Oh, so you're right. She also said that about 9/11. She said some people did some bad things. That's right.
Some people did some bad things.
Yes, and that word that I use, which is not nice to call somebody a bug. I get it, but it had nothing to do with anybody's religion or faith or anything to do with that. I mean, that's why when they were calling me all those names, it wasn't fair. Again, not nice, and I apologize 5 times already today, demeaning and not very nice, but nothing racist about it.
But let's say you called a Jewish person a cockroach, and you're known to do that. Is that racist? Or let's say you're called just a white person a cockroach. You've used this word before, but the thing about Zohran the moron is he'll do anything to play the victim, and the way he makes it seem is that he's walking around being spit on, being called all these horrible things about his religion and all that stuff, and he weaponizes it every single chance he gets, and he went on a 2-minute diatribe about the sweet, good-natured, great voice of New York, Sid Rosenberg, but he's yet to condemn when he's a double talker, and I got to give it to him. This is a fantastic double talking 3-card Monty. You got to remember in the 80s when you'd get caught up in a 3-card Monty game, and you think, I'm just going to play $20 here, and the next thing you know, you spent $215. You
and I've done that. I've done that, by the way, Mike. I've done that in Times Square more than once. Yes.
This is a guy that does the same thing. He's a great double talker, and he does the old bait and switch, and he'll say a bunch of things about one thing and less than a few things about another thing, and you're confusing. And the next thing you know, you're apologizing because he's a victim because he's been living this oppressed life with his billionaire, family, and his father, who's a Columbia University professor, and his mother, who's a successful director. You think this guy grew up in the sewer somewhere, and he rose by his bootstraps. He didn't rise by his bootstraps. He came to this country, and he's had a great life. He went to private school. Somehow, some way, he hustled, double-talked his way into becoming mayor of New York City. And when you call him a cockroach, I never for once even thought that had anything to do with anything. The fact that he's a double talking cockroach. It has nothing to do with him being Muslim, his race, or anything like that. But he weaponizes it to play victim, and then he won't go out there and say, that he's happy that these cockroaches that were eliminated in Iran, the regime, were eliminated. He won't say that those people are cockroaches, murdering, raping, torturing cockroaches. So this is a double talker. You got caught up in it. I've gotten caught up in it before because social media, everybody has an opinion. Everybody's an analysis. I stand by Sid Rosenberg, but I get it. When you're getting that sort of wave of you've done wrong, you don't, and you are a good guy, you are a sweet guy, or you are a well-intentioned guy, this is what happens.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and saying that, especially the good guy, the well-intentioned guy, and all that, because as I said this morning, Mike, and you know me as well as anybody, I do have a conscience, and sitting down, you know what really got to me last night is a bunch of really good people reached out to me, and I had some really good conversations, Mike, a great rabbi, for example, and, John and other good folks. But sitting down with Danielle, who you know very, very well, and my daughter Ava, two women who could appreciate what's going on in Iran more than anybody because there are 47 million Iranian women that may finally be able to enjoy freedom, something they've never had before. And they said, Daddy or Sydney, I love you. You're better than that. And I am. And so, yeah, even though all the things you just talked about, you're right, Mike, you're right. And Abraham Hamra said the same, but I'm not going to harp too much. And thank you for calling in, Michael Rapaport. No, I'm not going to harp too much on his shortcomings because I did want to make this more about today specifically how we can help heal the city and how remarks like I made don't help that situation. And that's what I really want to make. But it is good to still have infused into the program people, Mike, like you and Abe, to remind people that while I have apologized 7 or 8 times already today, I'm doing it again right now. That the truth is that
I want to say one thing, Sid.
Yeah,
I want to say one thing to you, and you because you said something to me about this, and I don't think there's weakness in apologizing. I don't think you're selling out. I don't think you're bending over. You're not bending a knee. I think there's strength in apologizing. And if you feel like you stepped over the line, apologize. I think sometimes like, well, President Trump, he doesn't apologize. He's the president, and that's how he does things. And that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I think there's strength in apologizing. I think when you talk crap, like myself, you're going to be apologizing. And I think when you talk crap like you do, and I say that with all due respect in the best way, at times you step on toes. At times you might take it too far. And there's no weakness. There's no shame in apologizing. I think it shows strength. I think people that can't acknowledge when they're wrong are weak. And so I don't think you should apologize for apologizing. You have to explain yourself and all that thing. Everybody understands you. Everybody supports you. And you are a good person. You're a well-intentioned person. You're also it's a show, and Twitter is a show. It's all part of the show. It's all part of the Sid Rosenberg, show. So, we know who you are as a person.
Michael Rapaport, I love you. Thank you. Seriously, that call meant a lot to me. That's a heck of a 1-2 punch right there when you get Abraham Hamra and the brilliant comedic actor. He really is. You ever see a stand-up act, you laugh your ass off from beginning to end, and he's a great actor, Michael Rapaport. And I liked what he said there when he said, specifically when he said, strength in apologizing doesn't make you weaker. And I don't feel any weaker this morning. I really don't. And I'm going to maintain my position on the mayor. Like I said a bunch of times early this morning, when he does something that I believe harms the cops, I'm going to call him out. And he's going to do that because he's done it already. If he comes out and does something that harms the Jewish people, I'm going to call him out. I don't care what Chuck Schumer or Kathy Hochul or Bill de Blasio say. I'm going to call him out. When he's clearly anti-Israel like he's been throughout this whole Iran situation, he's one of those people that believes that President Trump was forced into this by Israel. I'm going to call him out. But I'm going to call him out on his policy. And that's the lesson that I did learn over the last couple of days. And you do gain credibility and you do gain validity in your statements when you keep it to the facts. And if the mayor wants to argue with me, that's fine. Or if his supporters want to argue with me over his policies, that's fine. But the name calling and all that, they just don't need it. So I do want to go on to other topics. We've had 4 great guests already this morning. Peter King is going to stop by. Miranda Devine, she's going to stop by, a surprise guest in the 9 o'clock hour as well. Live in New Jersey today, Sid and Friends in the morning on a Wednesday, and we'll be right back.
That's a wrap for this minicast. Everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. Short, sharp, and straight to the point. Don't forget to follow, rate, and share with your friends. For more bite-sized takes, go to WABCRadio.com/minicast and download the 77 WABC app. See you next time for a new episode. Stay curious, stay sharp, and keep the conversation going so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.